How's it going, guys? This is Ketchup here once again, bringing you some more training mode stuff. We're going to be focusing on High Tech Jacqui Briggs today. And to be honest, this isn't going to be a guide, this isn't going to be a tutorial or anything like that, because I don't have enough experience with the character to do something like that. However, I would kind of like this to demonstrate the absolute basics of this character. Because a lot of people have actually asked me to do High Tech, especially when I actually played a bit of Jacqui Briggs. A lot of people said, can you play High Tech instead? Nobody plays the variation, we don't see any of it, can you please demonstrate it? So I've been messing around with Jacqui Briggs for quite a while, just never in a real match or against a human or whatever. So I'm going to kind of sort of demonstrate some of the basics that she can do. I'm probably going to be missing some stuff, some of the High Tech mains. The ones that do exist, if any, will probably let me know some things that I've missed out, but that's cool. I mean, the more knowledge, the better, really. But High Tech really is a special case. We do not see this variation used at all anywhere. And that's why I've kind of really wanted to kind of turn around and try and use this variation, for the reason that no one plays it. So let's get stuck in, I guess. First things first, it's all about run cancels. She gets two moves. She only gets two moves in this variation. She gets to power up her gauntlets with down back 2, and it does more chip and more damage with her punches. And she can charge this up to 2 times. So on charge level 2, she gets even more damage. That was 8% rather than 7. And it does more block damage as well. If I set him to block always, you'll see this does more damage on block now. Oh, he's set to reversal. Let's quickly turn him off. Reversal. Oops. Off. There you go. So the point is, more damage and more chip on the gauntlet charge. And you can run cancel them. And that's the other move that she gets. Down forward 2, which is this. It's a gauntlet blast. It's not really a projectile or anything. It has no range on it. The reason you will be using this mainly is because you can run cancel. You can charge this, and like the gauntlets, it can go up to level 1 or 2. Level 1, level 2, as you can see there. The more you charge it, the different properties it gets. Different levels of block stun, I think. There's also more pushback. Like if I do this regular version, if I do the charged version, if I do the max charge version, as you can see, the block stun is pretty much different on almost all of them. When you charge the gauntlets, the block regular one, pushback, level 1, goes straight into it, and level 2, pretty much the same thing. And then you can do the max charge, which has that, or that, which is like ridiculous pushback. But as you can see, it's different properties. I did the meter burn version of the gauntlet buff there, which is just, it gives me level 2 straight away. So that's one of the things, that gives me it immediately. The reason that's good, I'm going to show you in just a minute. But let's talk about the run cancels. Because you can charge this, you can obviously dash out of it. Because you can dash out of it means you can run cancel. Because you can run cancel means you can get combos off it. So if I hit the opponent, let's go block mode auto, just in case I drop it. The big deal here is that she can run cancel pretty much everything, and then get combo extensions into whatever. Obviously you can get more damage than that, but it's actually quite tricky going for certain conversions with her. A lot of running is required, a lot of stamina is required as well. But she can run cancel her 50/50s, and she can also run cancel basically anything. This is what hurt her beforehand, but off B&Bs you can do anything. You can just, as long as you go into your gauntlet, run cancel it, and then do whatever you want. You can do this. It's not as easy as it looks, unfortunately. Getting that last run is a bit tricky, and it's not always going to work, I find. But that's probably just me, dropping the combo more than anything else. If you have your gauntlets powered up, this does do a lot more damage. Like if you do like a regular, if you're trying to do like a punish, you can do 1-2-1, run cancel 1-2-1, punch, and then do this. This will now do 30% damage meterless. And then you can get it off the low as well. You can do the same thing off the low. If I catch the low, I can do the same combo, run in. And obviously it's quite tricky, that combo, although it doesn't look it. But you can pretty much get the same conversion off the low 2, and that will do 33% damage. You can actually run cancel the overhead. I know a lot of people do, they go back 2 straight into this and then run cancel. But you can make it slightly safer and not committing to that by run cancelling this and then running in. And then just doing that. I mean, I know it doesn't do loads of damage, but the point is, it's a safer option. If I have my gauntlets maxed out, let's say I've got level 2 charge, run cancel, run in 1-2 into this, and it will do more damage, 26% damage. But generally, getting your power-ups, I seem to get more success going for my charge full screen. Like, if I just crouch a projectile, I'll quickly get the buff, and then, I can just quickly do it, basically. Where if we're in this neutral situation, almost the way you would see a Sorcerer Quan player try and armor up in the neutral. Where if there's any neutral ground, I will use it to just power up a gauntlet. Or if I've got like a knockdown, I'll do it while they're on the floor. Anything that puts me in a slight advantageous position, which will be them whiffing something from full screen into my charge, or if I knock them down, and then I go for it. Obviously, that's not going to work because I'm not, I'm not plus enough. They'll probably run in and punish me. But anything which requires the opponent being knocked down and being far away, just to kind of give you that free gauntlet, and then you can go in and then start applying all of your run cancel stuff that she can do. But that's kind of the gist of it mid-screen. We're going to talk about her corner game, which I really think... I think her corner game is pretty much going to be where it's at with this variation. So let's reset position into the right. So I talked about her combos, and she can run cancel and stuff. She gets absolutely insane damage in the corner. Absolutely insane damage. And it's not even utilising her run cancels. It isn't even utilising her run cancels. It's utilising the fact that... I talked about charging this move here. If you charge it, it sends the opponent full screen. If I charge into max charge and hit a level 1 charge, he gets sent full screen. So that doesn't look very useful if you're doing it mid-screen. However, if you're doing it in the corner, you can actually combo off this. If you land it, charge, and then you actually go in for your conversions. So if you combo into this and then go for the charge, you can actually combo it. And as you can see, look at the damage of that. And basically, bear in mind, I know I used the meter burn gauntlets to power these up, but that is actually meterless. We talked about getting these in the neutral. If the opponent's in the corner and I've got a max charge, which I got meterlessly, and I land this 50-50, as you can see, I just got 52% at the cost of no bar into a knockdown, which means I can go overhead, do the same thing. The timing's a little bit different, of which you have to let go with the overhead, I find. It could just be me, but the overhead does the same thing. I'm just going to go for 3 reps just to make it easy. But even then, 3 reps, that was 48% damage. So 52% meets 48%, that's death. That is complete death, basically. But I didn't even run cancel that. You can run cancel it, but it actually does less damage, funnily enough. If I have this and then I go back 3-3, run cancel. Let's try it again. Back 3-3, run cancel. Oops, I'm screwing up. You can do something like that, which does 37%. You can run cancel and do the same kind of combo into the charge. Oh, and then go for that. It's a bit of a weird one going for that. It's not actually that difficult, but it's definitely like... I'm just going to go for 3. But even if I went for 4 reps, that actually still wouldn't do the same damage, I believe. We'll try and go for 4 reps real quick. Yeah, there's a bit more knockback on that, I think. But as you can see, like, it still does... Going for the run cancel is pretty much unnecessary. So I did 49% damage after going for the run cancel, which was harder to do. By just going for this raw, that gives me the 52%. So it's, it's pretty interesting. Like, it's not even that difficult to do. And I'm getting, 52% damage meterlessly, and I'm getting 48% off the overhead. Bear in mind, yes, this is with the max charge, but I would think if you're playing Jacqui, you're going to be managing this pretty much all the time. But bear in mind, you do need the max charge to get this, because if you go for level 1 charge off that, it doesn't knock back enough, basically. You might be able to get down 1, but I doubt it. Let's try it. Yeah, you can't get a down 1. So you do need a max charge to get this, but I really think that if you're High Tech Jacqui Briggs, I'm not sure what else you would spend the meter on. In all honesty, I'm not entirely sure, because you don't really... If you have the opponent in the corner, I'm not sure what else you would spend bar on to get that kind of damage. Normally with things like shotgun or full auto, you can spend the bar to get, like, a meter burn low rocket, or a meter burn up rocket to get the damage. But in High Tech, you don't need that. If you just make sure you've got this stacked and ready to go, you can do this ludicrous damage pretty much straight away. It looks very, very simple. I mean, to be honest, it kind of is. But it does require a little bit of execution, because it's just kind of, you've got to specifically time the 1-2, the 1-2, make sure you're not getting it too early and all that stuff. But that's kind of the corner damage. You can run cancel basically anything in the corner and get good damage. Like, for example, you can do something like, 3-3 run cancel. And then the whole point is you need to make sure you do something that has enough hit stun that guarantees the level 1 charge. Because as you can see, although it's between the 1-2-1 and him getting shot, there's actually quite a big gap there. But because there's so much hit stun on the 1-2-1, it still combos, and then all it requires is precise timing to get the 1-2, and then there you go, ending that in the knockdown. So that's the start of it. but also we're going to talk about the next part of it, which is another thing that her gauntlets give her access to. She has a ground pound in all variations. She can feint the ground pound in all variations. This is where High Tech gets quite interesting. So if I set the opponent to get up mode, like a regular, let's say they delay their wake up, then go block mode auto. So if I do forward to up to ground pound, the ground pound is a low. If I have any kind of gauntlet charge, the ground pound becomes completely unblockable. So if he's blocking this, let's try and get him blocking, and then do forward to up to ground pound. That actually becomes completely unblockable and does 11% damage by itself. If I have gauntlet charge level 2, the ground pound does 13% and is unblockable. So to begin with, her forward to up to becomes a bit of a mix-up, because the ground pound, when charged, becomes unblockable, which means if he's going to sit there and block, he's going to get hit by that. If he tries to do a reversal, this is where the mix-up comes into it. If I go reversal mode on, let's be real, if a Kung Lao player sees you hit him with that one time, if you hit them with that once, the next thing they're going to try and do is pretty much always spin. They don't want to take it. They're going to see that there's a long time before the up to and the down, the ground pound. They're going to try and spin. However, this is the interesting thing, that she can now cancel her ground pound. If you cancel the ground pound with gauntlet charge, you actually recover in time and can punish. So if you have gauntlet charge level 2, it becomes risky for him, because if he tries to punish this, he's just lost half his life on that spin. All because I put him in a block situation where I wanted him to spin, and now I'm going to punish him for this damage, for the crazy damage. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of the interesting things I think might become quite staple to her game against certain characters, is the mix-up of this unblockable ground pound into trying to bait a reversal that you can punish, because it is quite useful. Because the thing is, no one's going to want to just take this all day. No one's going to want to take a ground pound that is unblockable and does that damage. They're not going to want to take it. They're going to try and fight back. And that's where the ability to cancel the ground pound comes in, because you can completely cancel it, and then you can punish him for whatever you want. If you have him in the corner and you're High Tech, that damage that you punish him with is going to be pretty insane by the looks of things. So that's one of the elements. The second element of this ground pound is when her gauntlet charge is on level 2, the ground pound will OTG. OTG means if the opponent is on the ground, this will pick them up off the ground. So if the opponent does, that's why I've set him to delayed wake up. If I do a ground pound now and he's delaying his wake up, you will notice that the ground pound hits anyway. So if I do get up mode long, just to kind of keep him on the ground, if I knock him on the ground and then ground pound, it still picks him up. So the fact that OTGs gives you a guaranteed 13% damage if the opponent delays their wake up, which is one of the interesting things. The reason this is interesting is because there's a certain setup you can do. There are ways you can guarantee this. So if you do something like 2-1-2 for a hard knockdown, and then do this, that's a good way to set up the ground pound, because the opponent's on the floor for quite a while, and that will OTG. The one I found is, and obviously it's not guaranteed, but it's if the opponent is going to try and delayed wake up because they fear the 50-50. Like, a lot of people when I play Jacqui Briggs, they delay their wake up, so that when I throw out an overhead or a low, they always delay wake up, because they wait for you to throw out this, and then they just stand up and punish you. If the opponent's going to try and do that against Jacqui Briggs, this can happen. Let's say I catch an overhead, I catch a 50-50. So I'm going to go for the low first, and then go for a damage. Delays wake up, OTG. 63% damage, meatlessly, because he decided to stay on the ground. Which, again, is a mix-up, because, if they're gonna try wake up attack, I'm fairly certain I can't cancel the ground pound, because if he does wake up attack, if I go AI wake up mode on, wake up attack cyclone, I'm fairly certain you can't cancel the ground pound here, but we'll try it out. Let's just give it a go. Oops, let's try again. Oh, I need to turn him off get up attack, don't I? Oops. Right, let's see if he wakes up. So let's try that. Yeah, he can punish me. So the wake up attack, if I leave the ground and he does a wake up attack, depending on the character, I will get hit. But it's like I said, the fact that you're getting that damage That's the interesting thing, because you know we punish him for 52% or 50%. Do the OTG, bam, 60%, and that's insane damage just for one touch. And if it knocks him down, you can then go for another 50-50. You can go for, you know, you can run cancel this, go in for more pressure. But it does very much seem to be that Jacqui Briggs is all about getting that corner, because her normals aren't amazing. She hasn't got good range. You know, she hasn't got good armor and stuff like that. It really seems like, I think High Tech is going to be a matter of trying to put the opponent in the corner, hitting them with this ludicrous damage, and then, you know, trying to condition them to do stuff. Knock them on the ground, OTG, you know, then you can go for a 50-50, run cancel it, go in for a grab. Obviously he can armor that, so it's not completely guaranteed. But you guys get the idea here. I really want to kind of sort of display the absolute beginner basics, I suppose. But it does look like she does get good pressure in this variation, but she's just not ludicrously plus on anything by the looks of things. I could be wrong. Obviously she has, you know, good reaching. She has a good reaching normal in her forward 1-2, which you can run cancel, but I'm facing it, and again you can get spammed for that. Yeah, you can spin you there, but you know, not every character is going to have a reversal that quick, and not every character is going to have it that fast as well. But I just wanted to sort of demonstrate, I guess, the basics of this character. A lot of people have been asking me about High Tech, and well, this is High Tech. Obviously there's probably loads more to be found, but we'll get into that another day. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm going to probably try and use some High Tech Jacqui eventually in ranked matches. I don't know whether this is going to be a very online friendly character though, so I'm a bit reluctant. But at the very least, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and sub. This will probably be the last video we make for maybe about a week. Mustard and I are going to be moving back to Poland in a few days to cast the ESL Pro League, which obviously means living conditions and all that. We're going to have to get set up there before we can do content again, but don't worry, that will be first on our agenda. We will try and get back to you guys as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time, and see you later.